Hello, fellow Murdlers! Today is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024, and it's a great day to solve a murder. Today we have the one with a body on top of some pine needles, and we have 6 3x3 grids with suspects, motives, locations, and weapons. So our red murder clue today is that the murder took place on top of some pine needles. So looking at these locations, I see this tree here. I'm assuming this is going to be it. Let's just double check that there's nothing specifically about pine needles. No, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it's the old pine. All right, and we'll say that's our murder location today, and then we will figure out who was at the old pine, what weapon they brought, and why they committed the murder. So let's go ahead and meet our suspects for today. We have Earl Grey, President Amaranth, and Bishop Azure. We have a climbing axe, a venomous spider, and a brick as our weapons today. Our locations today are the old pine, a high-end tent, and the ancient ruins. And finally, our motives today are to rob the victim, to eliminate a spy, and to fight for the revolution. Let's go ahead and dive into our clues and evidence. Let's see, so this is going to be a decoder clue. All right, I'm going to try to do my best here. I think Z has to be A because we don't ever see I as a single letter word in the puzzle. And so I'm going to say this would be A something, then I'm going to assume this is had or was, and then could this just be by? Okay, so let's kind of back up for a second. So Z is A. So I don't think it's a letter offset because that wouldn't make sense, I don't think. And by that I mean I don't think it's like add 1. So Z to A is add 1. Let's say this is the, was by the, okay, A, S. I'm going to assume this is person. So I'm going to say this is who. The person who, W-A, wanted to, oh, here we go. Okay, the person who wanted to, and okay, here's how I got here. This is going to be the, that's just kind of a pattern I know from these puzzles. So the, and then I was looking at how many letters this was to see if we were able to determine kind of if this was like suspect or person, or weapon or whatever. And I'm seeing P-E-R-S-O-N. And that also works with this being S and this being W-A-S. So the person, and this gives us that O and that W, so that S then is H. So the person, we had the S, I guess, from here too. The person who, and then W-A, that's going to be wanted to, and then let's see, do we have V yet? No, I don't think so, but we've got other, not a lot of others for this word, but let's see what we do have. We have E, T, oh, T-E, T-E-A-S. So eliminate a spy. Okay, the person who wanted to eliminate a spy. Eliminate a spy was, I think this might just be by, like, or in. It could be in. Let me see. What do we have? Do we have eliminate? Would have an I? No. Oh, and S-P-Y. So that is going to be by the A-N something I S, no, E T N. Let's look also. Oh, this is S. Okay, N-S. Okay, so I think this is ruins. So I'm going to say the person who wanted to eliminate a spy was by the ancient ruins. All right. Took a minute, but we're there. Okay, so I forget which one's which with the decoder thing, so this is going to take me a second. But I think it might be... Yeah. Okay, so the first one is the offset. So this is like every letter is offset by something, I believe. And then this is because this was not like you can't just add X number to get here. But here we go. So we've got detective code tells us, yes, we were right. The person who wanted to eliminate a spy was by the ancient ruins. Okay. Okay, so we've got an eliminate a spy in the ancient ruins. So we'll put that in there. All right, much easier one by comparison. Whoever wanted to fight for the revolution had gray eyes. We've got brown eyes, gray eyes, and brown eyes. So it must be President Amaranth who wanted to fight for the revolution. Analysts discovered traces of a weapon made of a live animal on the clothing of Bishop Azure. So I know this from past puzzles. This is going to be the venomous spider, but just to show, this is made of clay and this is made of metal and wood. So we are dealing with the venomous spider, and that's going to be assigned to Bishop Azure. Brown eyes stared at a brick. Okay, so we know that President Amaranth has gray eyes, Bishop Azure has brown eyes, but we just gave Bishop Azure the venomous spider. So Earl Grey will be the brown eyes staring at the brick, and that means that President Amaranth must have had the... Is this the axe? Pick? Climbing axe? Okay, great. Okay, either a venomous spider was in a high-end tent, or Earl Grey brought a venomous spider. So we know Earl Grey did not bring a venomous spider, and as this says, it's not both. So the venomous spider, and therefore also Bishop Azure, was in the high-end tent. All right. And that means we know that President Amaranth can't have been by the ancient ruins because President Amaranth's motive was not to eliminate a spy. It was to fight for the revolution. So we can put an X here. And that will give Earl Grey the motive to eliminate a spy at the ancient ruins. And we can say President Amaranth was our killer today by the old pine with the motive to fight for the revolution. And Bishop Azure's motive, put this one in, was to rob the victim. All right, so there is our solution. We have President Amaranth with a climbing axe by the old pine to fight for the revolution. So I'm going to flip this over, but before I submit, I'm just going to take an extra moment, fill out the rest of my detective's notebook, and make sure everything's looking correct. Okay, there's everything all set. So again, we have President Amaranth with a climbing axe by the old pine to fight for the revolution. Let's go ahead and see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. I hope this was a helpful walkthrough, and we'll see you tomorrow.